Hi, and welcome to Parenting 101, practical tips for busy parents. Today and over the next couple of weeks, I'm going to make 5 videos on the same topic. The topic is one of the most common questions that I get asked. What do I do with my rebellious child? I taught them in a specific way and they're doing the complete opposite. What do I do, Pastor? So I'm going to look at the prime example of a rebellious child in scripture, which is the prodigal son. And I'm going to draw from that story 5 principles. Today, I'm going to only talk about the first one. And in other videos, we're going to talk about the other 4. The first one is I want you to notice how the father reacts when the younger son, the prodigal son, insults him by telling him he wants his inheritance. So he's practically telling him, I want you dead. Number 2, he does not invest in the family business. And there was a family business. He goes off on his own. And number 3, he soils the image of the family. So what do we do when our children tells us something we don't want to hear? I am very impressed at the fact that the prodigal father, or the prodigal's father, how he reacted. He did not react by shaming his child. He did not react by guilting his child. He did not react with violence. He did not react with threats. He just said, here's your inheritance. If somebody, you have an 18-year-old, you have a 25-year-old, you have a 21-year-old, that they are intent on rebelling and disconnecting from whatever it was that you taught them, one of the things that parents try to do is use those 4 things. In 28 years counseling parents, some threaten them, some try to shame them, some use emotional manipulation. I can't believe you would do this, and cry. And the person now acts not because they believe it's wrong, but because they don't want their parent to suffer. And the moment the parent's not there, they're going to do it what they do anyway. Threats, none of these work. If somebody is intent in rebelling, really hard to do is you have to allow them to touch the floor. And you have to be willing and to love them unconditionally. So that's the first tip. I don't know if you have a child that is going to a rebellious stage. I don't know if you have in your household somebody who is going the opposite direction of what they wish they would do. Maybe you're not even a person of faith and you taught them a specific way and they chose a completely different career, a completely different thing, a completely different style of living, and you say to yourself, man, I can't believe this person grew up in my household. They are so hard-headed. I would just encourage you, just like the prodigal's father, not to overreact, not to threaten, not to shame them, not to use emotional manipulation, not to use physical violence, and not to get alarmed. Notice that the prodigal's father did not say, I can't believe after all these years, after everything I've done for you, how would you ask me for money? He didn't get alarmed when the prodigal son asked for the money. He just gave it to them. Really hard to do, though. I'm telling you from experience, really hard to do, but necessary. Over the next weeks, we're going to do 5 videos. This just is the first one. If you are tempted to react in one of those 4 ways, please don't. And over the next videos, I'm going to explain what would be a better way forward. But for now, if you need prayer for your kids, just leave their initials on the comment section. It is my privilege to pray for them. Maybe we can start a movement of parents praying for each other's kids. All right? So this has been part 1 of what do I do with my rebellious child. Part 1. If you like the channel, subscribe to it. If you like the video, share it with somebody else. This has been Parenting 101, practical tips for busy parents.